Nets versus Lakers. Tonight at 10 on Yes and the Yes app.
If anyone knows the joy of rescuing animals, it's me. Just ask my rescues, who are all very important members of my family. Your life can also be forever changed by adopting a shelter pet. And it's not just about happiness your pet gets from finding a loving home, but that which you'll get from bringing them into your life. The heroes at American Humane have been helping animals for more than 140 years, whether it's rescuing animals caught in disasters, ensuring the safety of animal stars on screen, or protecting our planet's endangered species. They go above and beyond to further their mission and make the world a kinder place for animals. Please consider adopting a shelter pet and support American Humane. You can learn more at AmericanHumane.org.
Good morning with Vocalax. Good morning. Yeah. Try Vocalax Chewy Fruit Bites for fast and gentle constipation relief in as little as 30 minutes. Making your good morning even better with Vocalax.
Ma, are you sure you don't want to go bowling with us tonight?
Yeah, no.
There's my little marzipan. Oh, my daughter gives the best hugs.
We're just passing through on our way to the Jazz Jamboree. And we wanted to thank America's #1 motorcycle insurer for saving us money.
Mara, your parents are
exactly like me. I know, right?
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones.
Let's roll, Daddy-O.
Let's boogie woogie.
Yo, you think Dallas' Power Forward gonna drop 30 tomorrow?
His mom made a post about going to the game.
What?
He's been averaging like 34 points a game when she's there.
Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Cash in on your sports fandom with Prize Picks.
Sports. They connect us all. And with free mobile internet service from Maxib Telecom, it's easier than ever to stay connected. Young or old, rookie or veteran, now you can get 15 gigabytes of monthly internet totally free if you qualify through the Affordable Connectivity Program. Plus, receive a 4G Android tablet for just $20. Now that's a big assist. Call 888-348-3003 to find out if you qualify. Maxib Telecom, the official ACP provider of the Brooklyn Nets.
We all smoked in those days. If that was you then, get your lungs screened now.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Show me what you're cooking. Oh, let me see the moves. You got the whole world looking like the kind of magic taking hold of you.
Get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael Kay Show. The top-seeded Ravens get to work tomorrow after their bye last week, and Lamar Jackson will be looking to improve on his career appearances in the playoffs. He's just 1-3 over his career, with his only win coming Wild Card Weekend 2020 against the Titans. Jackson did finish this season strong, closing out Baltimore's campaign with 6 straight wins. He threw for 24 touchdowns and 7 interceptions on the season. However, over those last 6 weeks, he had 14 scores as opposed to just 2 picks. He goes up against promising young rookie Coleridge Bernard Stroud IV. Full name is so much cooler than the initials. Stroud was the 2nd overall pick in this year's past draft. He played extremely well in the wild card round, helping dispatch the Browns rather easily. But in week 1, the Ravens defense held him in check. No touchdowns or interceptions for him. And Houston only scored 9 points. We all know the playoffs are a different animal than the regular season. Will Jackson turn things around, or will the kid continue to be an animal and roll? We'll find out tomorrow at 4:30.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Get a chance right now to talk to our good friend, Mike Tannenbaum, on a Football Friday on 98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and Nissan.com today. Mike Tannenbaum, how you doing?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing fine. So Adam Schefter reporting that Antonio Pierce is finalizing a contract with the Raiders, and I brought this up earlier. I just want to get your take as a guy who used to run teams. So Max Crosby came out and said, if they don't retain Antonio Pierce, I'm going to want to be out of here. Do you let that impact you at all if you're running a team, what a player says about somebody?
Well, not all players are created equal, and certainly someone like Max Crosby is going to have a bigger say in things, guys. But at the end of the day, you got to measure twice and cut once, and these are huge decisions. So you're going to listen to that a little bit, but at the end of the day, you still got to go through the process to feel like, hey, this is the best guy on the planet for the job.
Are you surprised that Belichick is not signed with? It looks like it's heading toward Atlanta, but are you surprised he hasn't signed with anybody?
Yeah, I think it's not a question of when, but not if, but when. And Atlanta would be a good spot. Look, he's the greatest coach in the history of our game, but he is going to be 72 in April, and I expect that deal to get done. And, you got to understand, like, from Thanksgiving on, guys, teams hire search firms, coaches have agents, and sometimes conversations happen. I'm not saying they did necessarily in this situation, but, maybe there's a little bit more than meets the eye. I don't know specifically with this case, but I will say those things do happen way under the radar.
All right, you're a general manager of a team looking for a head coach. Which of the available coaches would you select?
Well, Don, I think context matters. With the Chargers, obviously, like if you go back to, and I happen to be good friends with Rich Gannon, former league MVP, and he will tell you that as a quarterback coach 100 years ago, Jim Harbaugh was consequential in his development. And you go to University of San Diego, and you go to Stanford and Andrew Luck, and San Francisco with Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith, and what he's done with J.J. McCarthy. This guy is an absolute quarterback whisperer. And you put him with Justin Herbert, I think that's an absolute no-brainer.
Why did Pete Carroll lose his job?
He didn't win enough. And, if we owned or operated the Seahawks guys and we saw us losing consistently to Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, I think we'd say, hey, we either got to score more or defend better. And he had a heck of a run. But I could see why that, there's an expiration date on these jobs. And, the bar is high, and, I maybe it was a year, you could say, too soon or too late, but I could see why it happened.
We also look at with Belichick losing the job with the Patriots. And then you and a lot of other people have come on and said, Atlanta's a really good spot for him. With that quarterback, Mike?
Well, there isn't a quarterback. I mean, and I'll say this. Let's assume that it works out. Here's what's interesting, working with Coach Belichick twice and watching him for 20 years. He acquires players that he had trouble defending. So, like, specifically going back to guys like Wes Welker. And if you go back a couple of years ago on a Monday night in Foxborough, Justin Fields tore him up. And I just wonder if Justin Fields, who is an Atlanta native, and we start connecting dots. Right now, Matt Eberflus and their general manager, Ryan Poles of the Bears, are sitting in L.A. interviewing Cliff Kingsbury, who's an analyst for USC. Like, when you start connecting dots, that tells me they're drafting Caleb Williams. That tells me that Justin Fields is available. What am I doing? I'm going out, and I'm going to try to get Bill Belichick on day one, and on day two, I'm trading for Justin Fields.
Now, you had said you didn't believe that Mike McCarthy deserved to be fired. Why?
I mean, so, Josh, are you there with, like, Orlovsky and Damian Woody? So on Monday, if the Ravens lose, should we fire John Harbaugh? Like, doesn't 36 wins matter? And for 11 months, like, we all go on air and say, boy, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're a great organization. They're beyond reproach. They're not impetuous. They, are very stable. And if you look at Mike McCarthy, who is horrendous, absolutely horrendous in clock management, but has done a good job with Dak Prescott. I don't think 3 hours is a reason to fire somebody when you look at a 3-year body of work.
Now, I've had this conversation a lot about, does he deserve to be fired? Sometimes you don't deserve to be fired, but I think I can do better. So I know Jerry Jones, he's got an ego. That might have lent to why he decided to keep Mike McCarthy. But you don't think they would be better with Bill Belichick or Harbaugh or Pete Carroll as opposed to Mike McCarthy?
Well, I mean, it's a fair point, but let's say it this way, guys. If we were running the Cowboys and we're sitting there, what do you think the odds are that the next coach would win 36 games and, make the playoffs as much as Mike McCarthy did? And by the way, here's what's really interesting. Mike McCarthy has more career playoff wins than guys like Bill Parcells, Mike Tomlin, and a whole bunch of other names that would shock you. So my point is, yeah, maybe it would be better with Bill Belichick, but again, he's going to be 72. And we know that this coach works with this quarterback. Now, does it have to get better? Yes, it has to get dramatically better. But I just wouldn't indiscriminately fire somebody because they had one bad playoff game. It would bother me. It would concern me, but I wouldn't fire them.
But, I mean, I don't know. I respect your point. You obviously feel strongly about it. You can tell we don't necessarily feel the exact same way. But I feel like you're sort of downplaying the level of loss a bit. I mean, it was just such a colossal flop for a team. These windows, as you know better than anyone, they close. And this season was such an opportunity. And to flop so badly on both sides of the ball at home, I assumed he'd be gone.
Yeah, no, and look, I don't think Jerry Jones is anywhere close to the Steinbrenner's that he's perceived to be. He's actually patient. And one thing about windows opening and closing, like if the four of us were having this conversation a year ago, Tom Brady goes off into the sunset, the Buccaneers are done for the next 5 years. I would have signed for that as well. $80 million in dead money. Guess what? Baker Mayfield has outperformed Tom Brady. That's just the facts. Hard stop. Both quarterbacks got a home playoff game. One won, one lost. So everyone thought it was over for Tampa. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, they're going to move on. End of story. They're 60 minutes away from me in the NFC Championship game. So if you want to step up, he needs to sign massive signing bonuses to CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott. Lower those cap numbers and keep the window open.
It's interesting you mentioned the 36 wins in 3 years because, Mike, we're here in New York. Yankee fans are not happy with 100-win seasons. It's where are you going to, are you going to win the World Series? You're going to go to the World Series. They haven't been in the NFC Championship game in forever. Jerry's 81 years old. I'm very surprised, Mike, that he's exercising caution or patience, should I say. That doesn't seem like it jives. 81 with patience. I mean, you don't buy green bananas at 81.
It's a really fair point, but I think we got to give the Joneses credit here, right? They are a family-run organization. They're much closer to the Steelers and the Chargers than they are to, again, like the Steinbrenner family or, others. Like, look at David Tepper. Like, Frank Reich drafts a quarterback as a rookie, and 2 months later, he's out. Like, that's not building sustainable success. So I completely agree with you, but Jerry Jones, besides Dave Campo and Wade Phillips, I think every coach he's hired made it to at least year 4.
And also, Mike, you bring up the Steinbrenners. 12 years Torrey, 10 years Girardi, and now Boone. So they haven't been very twitchy either. I mean, George Steinbrenner used to fire guys a lot, but his son doesn't.
Yeah, no, that is totally fair. And the other point I'd like to make, too, is, when you look at the divisional playoffs, I think it's fascinating. We talked about it today on Get Up. You look at Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff. They were both first picks overall, but they're not on the team that drafted them. Baker Mayfield's on his 4th team. Obviously, Goff's on his 2nd. And the reason I bring that up is I do think you need to be patient a little bit more than – now, look, you're going to have a C.J. Stroud from time to time. I get it. But, again, I just give Jerry Jones credit because clearly the easy decision, as you guys mentioned, is horrendous against Green Bay, undefeated at home. You should have won the game. You looked awful. And we're going to blow the whole thing out. And I don't think anybody would have sat there and been like, well, that's a bad decision. So I think he's showing mental toughness. I think he's showing leadership. And the question that really needs to be asked is, Mike McCarthy, when was the last time you walked into a meeting and someone changed your mind? Because you're one stubborn guy. Because when you threw the ball on 2nd down that last drive against the Detroit Lions, you should have been fired. Because a good Pop Warner coach would have known to run the ball. the Lions would have the ball with 40 seconds to go in the game, no timeouts, and needing a touchdown to tie the Cowboys, and that was unacceptable. So to me, you can hold somebody accountable without firing them.
All right, of the underdogs, forget the Bills and the Chiefs for a second, but we've got huge underdogs in the other three. Which of the three has the best chance at the upset?
Yeah, keeping it in the ESPN family, like I was on today with, Bart, Scott, and Damian Woody, like all we needed was Rex. But this Buccaneer team really reminds me of like the 09 and 10 Jet teams, and here's why. Baker, to me, is reasonably close, plus or minus, what Sanchez was for us. They got a really good defense. They got a good back in Rasheed White. And for teams to advance on deep into the playoffs, like they can rush the passer, and they got a guy, Mike Evans, who could score points. So I think they actually have a puncher's chance to go into Detroit and win.
Which leads us to a question that a caller asked us the other day. Did the Jets cut bait on Bowles too quickly? Now, he had a couple of really bad years, but he looks like he's a pretty decent coach. And the guy they moved on to from Bowles was not very good. So did they fire him too soon?
Yeah, I'm 100% biased. I work with Todd. He's not a what you see is what you get guy. I think he's one of these guys that's fiercely competitive, very relatable to players, and not great with the media. And he doesn't define the job as being as such. So, it's probably unfair to ask me because I'm such a big fan of his. But, just like, we talked about the quarterbacks guys, it's hard to develop head coaches. It's really hard to do that in New York.
And the funny thing, we had a weekly with him, Mike. We thought he was great. I mean, he's not going to light you up with quotes, but he's never rude, ever.
Yeah, no, and he's really smart. Like, he is – look, he was in the building with Coach Parcells back in 2000, and just the reverence. I mean, I saw Coach Parcells pick his brain all the time, and he was a really good player, very loyal, but has a high bar. And, look, they have an $80 million competitive disadvantage this year, and to get to the final eight is just, it says a lot of about his coaching acumen.
I understand Rodgers wants him, but are the Jets making mistakes sticking with Saleh?
Well, I'd say it this way, guys. Like, if we were drafting coaches, Mike Vrabel, Jim Harbaugh, Ben Johnson, Dan Quinn, and Robert Saleh, where would that fall out in the draft? And I don't think you can make any decision based on one player. Look, is Aaron Rodgers important? Absolutely is. We love you. We want you here. We want you to rehab. But your job is to play quarterback. Our job is to run the franchise. And any decision we make, guys, we have to say, like, if we move on from a coach or a player, is there someone better? And we've talked about it a lot, on the shows, which is like, guys, this is a historically deep group of coaches that are available. Dan Quinn took a team to a Super Bowl. Jim Harbaugh took a team to a Super Bowl. Belichick's won 6 of them. There's a lot of great coaches. Mike Vrabel is a great coach. We're not even talking about people like Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson. So if I was running a team, I may like my coach, but if I have an opportunity to get better, I owe it to the organization to explore.
All right, so a final question along those lines. If you're the GM of the Jets and they have the 10th pick, are you picking a quarterback? Or you're afraid that Aaron Rodgers will get mad?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Hey, look, let's give Brian Gutekunst and the Packers credit. Yep. He got mad when they drafted Jordan Love. How'd that turn out? So
exactly.
There's a quarterback we like. Yeah, Mike, I'm telling you, if there's a quarterback that we like, we're taking him. And, hey, guys, before we end, I have a question for you guys because you're like the great arbiter here. But in a pickleball showdown, it's DiPietro and Rothenberg against Amani Toomer and Anita Marks. Who do you got?
Well, Dave's not an athlete. Obviously, Rick is a great athlete. That's tough. What do you think, guys?
I like Amani and Anita.
I don't know, man. That's really good.
But Anita's a much better athlete than Dave. And if you call Amani and Rick a scratch, you know what I'm saying?
But Rick is younger than Amani.
A bit.
Yeah, I can't pick against DiPietro, Mike. I just can't. He's my guy.
Yeah, but I think Anita and Toomer is the way to go.
Thank you.
It's funny. So we have our Sunday morning show, and Anita is trying to get these knuckleheads at least to come on to talk about it, and they're so scared of Anita, they won't even come on to discuss it. So, I'm the self-appointed, I'm going to be the referee of the match, and, a little bit of an ESPN New York showdown here, but there's a lot of confidence flowing from Marks and Toomer. I'll just leave it at that. A very confident group.
Well, that worries me. I wouldn't want them to go too far because Dave was an avid tennis player. I know that. And he's in pretty good shape right now because he had the bar mitzvah recently. So they definitely want to take him for granted.
Listen to this, Peter. I just got a text from DiPietro. Tell that rat Mike T he's suspended from the morning show.
Ooh.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if he's got that
unfortunate.
Wow.
That is unfortunate.
Wow.
Hey guys, I was already on double secret probation, so is there a big difference between double secret probation and a suspension?
Zero.
Very well said. Enjoy the games this weekend.
All right, thanks guys.
Man.
All right. Hey, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled-up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
The next Powerball drawing is presented by Jackpocket. Jackpocket lets you order official state lottery tickets right on your phone. Just pick your numbers and place your ticket order. See a scan of your ticket right in the app. And get your winnings instantly. Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free. Jackpocket, America's #1 lottery app.
Hey. Rental? Yep. You? Yeah. You know your shoe's untied. Oh. Don't let a box.
Pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Can a handyman fix my leaky faucet?
How much does it cost to have my HVAC checked?
How do I know I have mold?
What do water pipes break?
Home questions don't have to keep you up at night. Get peace of mind with Thumbtack. We'll connect you with local pros for any home project, from a small fix to a big remodel. See transparent prices, read verified reviews, and book with just a tap. Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Win big while streaming the Nets with Pick and Play on the Yes app. Make your picks before tip-off and win up to $10,000. What a move! Yes, Pick and Play. It's the game within the game, only on the Yes app.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Freezing, just freezing.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of Fans' Hearts.
Care, and they'll pay my granddaughter to take care of me.
Funded by Medicaid, Freedom Care allows people to choose who provides their care, and the caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift.
Life is sweeter with her around.
Nana gave me so much joy as a child. Now it's my turn to return the love.
Call now to find out benefits and pay, and how fast you can get started.
The Brooklyn way is something that you can't describe. You just gotta know it. You gotta feel it. You gotta be here.
We give everyone the swag, the lingo, the culture, the look. We're just the sauce.
We got everything. Everything you want, we got.
To see somebody going after something and doing like what they love, it's easy to show love. And that's one thing about Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? It's a reflection of who we are.
Teachers are skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world, expertly discovering solutions. Inspiring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready?
If you watch Yes Network on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download the app to stream the Nets and experience the game in a whole new way. With a live stat overlay to track your favorite players. Free-to-play gaming with big cash prizes. And earn and redeem rewards for gift cards and gear. So remember, if you get Yes on TV, then you get the Yes app for free. Download now.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. Is this the new Tom Brady-Peyton Manning rivalry in the AFC? Brady took 11 of the 17 meetings between the two over their historic Hall of Fame careers. Now, we know some other quarterbacks would like to, as the kids say, enter the chat for this comparison. But for now, let's just focus on these two, Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Each head of the snake for their respective teams has 3 wins in their 6 total meetings so far, including the postseason. The only category Allen doesn't have the edge in here is yards per game. And yeah, those 2 Super Bowl rings and 2 MVPs that Mahomes has. Mahomes has also won the most postseason games since 2018, his first full season of starting, and Allen's rookie year. Kansas City has 12 wins, including those 2 Super Bowls, while the Bills could pick up their 6th postseason victory since Allen's first year in the league with a win on Sunday, when that game will close out Championship Sunday. The closest Allen ever got to the big dance was back in 2020 when Mahomes and the Chiefs manhandled them in Kansas City in the AFC title game.
Presents an evening with Garrett Wilson, an intimate event in the Big Apple with the Jet star wide receiver. For a chance to score passes to this exclusive event, including food and beverage, go to ESPNNewYork.com or find the contest page on the ESPN New York app and submit your entry. An evening with Garrett Wilson is brought to you by Corona and Sansone Auto Mall. You know, something that Mike Tannenbaum said that's interesting to me, and I don't necessarily agree with the thought that Bill Belichick always had trouble defending Justin Fields. So that would be the quarterback that he ends up trying to get. I think that's a bad way to look at it. I've seen in baseball guys that just punish a team and this guy's good. No, he's good against your team. You can't stop Justin Fields. But, you know, obviously there's a lot of teams that can. So you can't just look at how he performs against you and say, wow, he's so hard to stop. I know you're the greatest defensive mind of all time, but other teams have stopped him, right?
Yeah, but that's I don't think he looks at it that way. I think he looks at it the fact that, boy, this guy is really difficult. You know, I'm a defensive genius, and I'm up at night trying to figure out a way to stop him. Boy, I'd love to have him on my team and use that against somebody else, right? So I think that's like the angle of why wouldn't you look at it that way? Not so much the success you've had against him, but, boy, when I game plan for this guy, I see so many good things. And now I can have him, and I can make him even tougher to defend. You know, the Bears probably misused him, but he had so much talent. I think that's the angle he's looking at, of how difficult it was to defend him. Imagine how difficult it'll be to defend once I get a hold of him. I mean, it's all knowledge, right? Why do you think all these coaches go out and get former players that played for them? You know, because they know how they can work.
Yeah, but that's okay. Guys that play for you really know the inner workings of that guy. But just to get a guy because you had trouble defending him, I don't know if that's a great ploy.
I just think it is for Bill,
but
because
it's a logical way to think, Don. Like he may not be right, but you understand why you think that way.
Why Michael thinks that way, or Bill?
No, why Belichick?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is that
it makes sense.
Like Bill is a defensive genius, and he looks at all the quarterbacks that are available and say, "Here's a guy that I think has been misused in Chicago." Even with that said, I find his skill set very difficult to defend. So once I start to work with him, other defensive coordinators are going to have problems with him. So it shouldn't be your only reason, but I can understand why there would be logic there.
Now, one quick baseball aside. So, Yankee manager Aaron Boone was on with the guys on Foul Territory. And, you know, he's very bullish on the way Cortez looks, and that Rodon got to Tampa early, looks good, and Stanton is slimmed down, the whole deal. But everybody looks good in spring training. But the one thing that he's still doubling down on, and I have not had a chance to talk to Aaron, and at some point I'm going to ask him this, he plans to bat Soto second and Judge third. And I don't get it. Now, I think Soto is going to be a great citizen. This is the last year before free agency. But I know for a fact, talking to people from San Diego, he wanted no part of batting second. He wanted to bat third. Now, supposedly, he's had a conversation with Aaron, and he's fine with batting third. But here would be my question to Aaron, if I could ask him. Why have you been batting Judge second? The reason I keep getting, well, he's going to get 40 more at-bats than if he batted third or fourth over the course of the season. You giving away those 40 at-bats to Judge now? And also, if you bat Judge second and Soto third, you know Soto's going to be happy because he wanted to bat third in San Diego, and he's going to give Judge the best protection he's ever had. And please don't tell me because LeMahieu's going to lead off, it's going to be righty-righty. So what? Righty-righty, lefty-righty, I mean, it's going to be staggered after the first two righties.
But that's your answer. But you may not agree with it, but that's probably the answer.
Yeah, but
love
righties
that.
don't neutralize Aaron Judge. Righties don't neutralize DJ LeMahieu to the point that you know they're going to bring in a right. I mean, why wouldn't you keep people in their comfort zone? Judge is comfortable at second, and Soto has clearly made it very apparent he's comfortable at third. I have heard stories that Scott Boras called people in San Diego and demanded that Soto bat third. So I know Aaron is very persuasive, so he spoke with Soto, and Soto's good with batting second. But he wasn't last year. So why upset the apple cart? I don't get the advantage.
Well, I mean, he's going to get better pitches with Judge behind him.
But Judge would get better pitches. So don't you want the guy that could hit 62 home runs rather than the guy that at his best is going to hit 40 home runs?
But it's not just about home runs. It's about that you're going to get the most out of the player. I mean, I think it behooves Soto more than Judge. I mean, Judge is terrific. Does he need that?
Well, does Soto need it? He's got the same numbers as Ted Williams after 6 years. So I don't understand it. I can't wait to talk to Aaron about it when I get to spring training. It's just, why are we dying on that hill? Judge was like ensconced in the second hole. Now he's not. Now you want him to bat third. Now you're going to give away those 40 at bats over the course of a season that you get extra by batting first or second. That's why I'm not the manager, I guess. Hey, it's Michael K. I love when I get to talk about my friends at PC Richard & Son. It's a local company.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
See everything your store can do with tools from Square. Your inventory automatically restocks, so you never run low. Your online store stays open 24/7, so you're always ready to sell. Your payments are processed in seconds, so customers can breeze through checkout. And with one account to manage it all, you've got more time for taking time out. Get your all-in-one retail system by signing up at square.com today.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to thebblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
For far too long, millions of Americans have been strapping on uncomfortable work boots pushed by out-of-touch corporate types. Hey! To design boots and apparel that hardworking men and women actually want, you have to get on the job site and listen.
And that's why Brunt names gear after guys like us.
Apart from making our boots and apparel innovative, reliable, and insanely comfortable, we back all of our gear with a 30-day on-the-job risk-free trial. You deserve better. You deserve Brunt.
Try any of Brunt's gear on the job for 30 days risk-free.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always, so you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Win big while streaming the Nets with Pick and Play on the Yes app. Make your picks before tip-off and win up to $10,000.
What a move!
Yes, Pick and Play. It's the game within the game, only on the Yes app.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
It can even be fatal. Drugs take over 250 lives every day. Know the dangers. Be aware. Learn more about the risks of mixing drugs. Visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
Big football Friday. Big 4 games. And I think that we have to wait until Sunday night to get the one that everybody wants. I think every game is going to be intriguing. But I think the game that is the sexiest, that is probably going to be the most competitive when you look at the line, is Kansas City at Buffalo.
Damn right.
I have one question about Buffalo. You would think that the Buffalo Bills, right?
Yes.
They play in an area that gets snow all the time. That they don't have a snow removal crew, that they have to ask locals to come shovel for $20 an hour. Shouldn't that be in place? I mean, it's not a surprise that it's going to snow in Buffalo. And if you saw the game the other day, they couldn't even clear the snow from the stands.
Well, that's the thing, is that can you get that many people? It's probably easier to do it that way. I mean, how many people can you have on staff? They're going to be city workers. You know, they're all going to be going other places because you've got to dig out from, feet of snow.
But Don, the point is that they didn't clear. They cleared the field, but people had to come in and clear their own snow off the seat.
Yeah, I just when you're talking about that much snow, it's probably just easier to do it the way they did it, because you'll get people that think it's cool, want to do it, and even then, at that kind of money, that many fans, it's tough to remove that much snow in that short period of time.
So
are they getting anything right now again?
Yeah. Well, I think they had some, and people were lined up today to come in and shovel for $20 an hour. Now, the sense I'm getting from you two jabronis is that you're both taking the Bills.
You don't know
the
that.
Bills. Well, Peter loves them. I think you love them too.
I love them, but there's injuries to deal with. Johnson, Douglas, Benford in their secondary are banged up. I think they'll play, but do you really want to have a banged up secondary going up against Mahomes and Kansas City? It's now it moved up to
this isn't your father's Kansas City
and
Chiefs.
Also,
you mean last year's Chiefs?
Yeah,
that's right.
But 2.5 to 3 ain't nothing.
I know. Well, what do we have it at now on ESPN?
We have it at 3.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's brutal.
Right. So listen, you could say, well, what's the difference? Well,
you kidding me? You kidding me?
Well, the difference here, I made my 3-point play.
It's 2.5 now.
All right, thank you, Don.
Well, because I was going by.
Don, you got to get a hold of yourself.
Farm Ball was saying 3. What was sent to us before the show said 3.
But we're going to update. There's only 4 games. I could update 4 games by 5.
All right, because if I get, there is a big difference between 2.5 and 3, because it could be half our points, right? Yeah, I mean, if they cover the 2.5 on a last-second field goal, but then if it's 3, now it's a push, and now I get only half of my points.
But I don't know what. We reference ESPN Bet here because we're company people. I can't speak for the fart now. But I've seen it at 2.5 all week. It's sitting at 2.5 right now.
And then when we were talking about it, I had it at 2.5. But then I saw 3 in the email pre-show. Joe was talking 3.
So that means this morning there was a change. But all week for me, it's been 2.5. And now today, when I look, it's 2.5. So hopefully it stays there for me for the next 40 minutes. Now, you might think, Don, if we're that worried about it, maybe I don't love the Bills.
McDermott announced a bunch of people out on a Bills radio station this morning, so that's why it went from 3 to 2.5.
Let me ask you a question, Anthony. He didn't announce that Josh Allen's out, right?
No,
or
he certainly did not.
Stephon Diggs, right?
No.
I think we're okay.
Well, that's a very pedestrian opinion.
I'm a very pedestrian guy.
Well, you could be right. I mean, but it's not.
That's the guy I worry about.
All right. But you also, when you're talking about the injuries to the secondary, you got to stop the other team too. So do I think that this is going to be a low-scoring game? I don't. I think both teams are going to get theirs. So if the Bills are banged up on the defense, that could sway you. Josh Allen could play well and still not win or cover.
Now let's look at Houston and Baltimore. 4:30 start on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus.
I'll tell you more. I love the Ravens, Michael.
You love the Ravens. So Houston is what now, 9.5?
Yeah.
And you still love the Ravens.
Love the Ravens. I
love what Fortenbaugh said. Sometimes the Ravens play with their own food. And
that is a great way to put it.
What a great phrase.
Oh, you enjoy when someone uses the language that way.
Yeah. But words are tools.
I agree with that, but I think he's basing that off of what happens in the regular season. But in the playoffs, I think there's going to be a little bit more engagement. Get this done.
Don't forget, though, Don, don't forget, Lamar has certainly laid an egg or two in the playoffs. So, that is a fear that I have. Is remember that putrid game of theirs in 2019 going into 2020?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've had some putrid playoff moments, but I like them rested. I feel like Houston has already accomplished what they need to accomplish, and this is a Ravens team that is poised to do the whole thing. It's at home. I'm not saying they beat them from pillar to post, but there are a couple scenarios I can see, and one of them is the Ravens winning big.
What I found what Joe said interesting, and sometimes I go the other way with it, where he's talking, rest versus rust situation, where he made it seem like it's bad for Buffalo that they've been a playoff team basically for the last 6 weeks. They weren't sure they were going to get in. Meanwhile, Kansas City, they got the extra couple of days rest. They knew they were a playoff team. That could work against you because maybe that engagement helps you. It's the same with the Texans and Baltimore. Baltimore is well rested, but the Texans have played playoff games for the last month. They weren't sure they were going to get in until the last week. So how much does that help the Texans that you might catch the Ravens standing still? When was the last time the Ravens really played a meaningful game? I mean, they've kind of had this thing wrapped up for a while, it felt like, especially with Cincinnati, with Burrow being out and Cleveland with their issues, that they felt like this was their division win for a while. So how do you look at it? Do you look at it the rest is good for the Ravens, or is it good for the Texans because they might catch Baltimore standing still?
I think they have a better chance. The Texans have a better chance with the Ravens resting. I think if the Ravens played last week, I think the line might even be higher. So I think we'll find out at the end of the game whether it was beneficial to have the rest or detrimental to have the rush. So I would lean toward Texans have a better shot because of the rest, but we'll see. Now, the second game on Saturday is Green Bay at San Francisco, 8:15 on Fox. Now, the key question that everyone wants to know, Peter, will Ballard be schnurring in your house again?
Ballard? I asked him to. I think that Ballard is going to be at the Packer bar.
That's dumb. Why would he change the vibe?
Well,
what is he, an adult? Then now he's going to change venue.
Well, because he's not bright.
Listen, I would try to get into your house if you weren't home, based on the fact of how well they played against the Cowboys at your house.
I appreciate it because I don't believe in jinxes.
Hold on. Yeah, but real quick, this isn't all in one day. He's had incredible wins at Kettle of Fish. He's had incredible losses at my house.
But what's the most recent game? Your house with brisket. That's where he should be.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what? Maybe your wife said, "I don't want you here next week."
That is
wow.
That's not what happened.
Wow.
No. You're disappointed.
No, Don is. Again, I respect him because I don't believe in jinxes.
No, but it's not about believing in jinxes.
I'm the guy said he's 6 outs from a no-hitter.
But you are on a Cinderella ride here. No, but Michael, you don't have to believe in it, but it wouldn't hurt.
So you're saying don't rattle the cage?
Well, I just don't know why you would be. Why would you look to change the venue?
He's been on the show, Don. He's not that bright.
But he no. Listen, I don't subscribe to that. He got a little nervous. I think he's a smart, intelligent person. If this were the old Packers, where they're the favorites or whatever, then you don't worry about it. But they are on a bit of a miracle run. They're a 9.5-point dog. They had an amazing win against the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to try to keep that vibe going.
I hear you. Listen, I hear you. I put the offer out there.
That's all you can do,
Peter. It's still out there.
Anthony, do you have a cut to just really put into clear focus Ballard's mental acuity?
Ballard misunderstood.
Well, because he's not bright.
Well,
you don't have Ballard battling on
that call. I think that's unfair. I think he's an intelligent person. He just did.
There you go.
He told Cindy Brady that light went on and he didn't have anything.
And someone came to the door while he was on the phone. There was a lot happening.
Sure. Good. You know what? One thing, you're a good friend. Let's move to Sunday. Tampa Bay at Detroit. That's an NBC vehicle, not a Peacock vehicle, an NBC vehicle. Starts at 3 o'clock. Which way are you guys leaning on this?
This is a tough one.
I agree with Don. I'm a little scared here.
What's the number?
6.5.
6.5.
So it's under a touchdown. But, the Lions, they messed around last week. This is not an area that they really know well. Divisional round of the playoffs coming off a win. What do the Bucs have to lose? This defense, they get after it, and are the Lions going to be able to handle that? And the stat that I look at, Michael, Goff has turned the ball over 7 times against the blitz. The Buccaneers blitz 41% of the time.
But he also has pretty good numbers of late against the blitz.
But the numbers are good, but the turnovers are the key to me. They can't turn the ball over. I just think there's house money for the Buccaneers in a place that, it's one thing for, you could say the same for the Packers. You could say the same for the Texans. They're playing with house money. What do you got to lose? But the Ravens have a history. The 49ers have a history. Those teams have been really good and consistently good all year. Lions are good, but I'm not ready to put them on that level yet of the Ravens and the Niners. So this is not really territory that they're very comfortable with. So when you play with house money, that might be the team to go after. What are we anointing the Lions? What have they accomplished other than a 1-point win against the Rams? Their second win since 1957. Now, I know Goff's been to a Super Bowl, but this is rarefied air for the Lions right now, so we don't know what exactly Lion team, what they're guaranteed to do this weekend.
It's rarefied air for Baker Mayfield, too.
Yeah, but they got nothing to lose. They're not the favorites. The Lions.
I've always essentially agreed with you, and I use that phrase a lot. House is money. And I had somebody from a professional team scold me on it. He said, that is the dumbest thing to say. I said, why? He said, because once you get to that point, you don't think they want to win this week? You don't think there's pressure on them to win? They've gotten this far?
That guy's a doll.
I know, but you can't say just because nothing was expected of them early that they're going into this nice loosey-goosey. I agree with you, Don, but there are people I think there is no such thing as house money.
Because a professional athlete always believes they're going to be able to do it. That's why they're professional athletes. So, of course, they're not going to look at it as house money or certainly tell people that it's house money. But I'm sorry. The Buccaneers are not expected to win this game. They weren't expected to make the playoffs. They certainly weren't expected to beat the Dallas Cowboys. If they go out there and lose 30-3, they could be disappointed that they lost the game. But they're going to go home during the offseason and think about what a great run they had. The Lions aren't going to think that if they lose this game. They're home. They're never in the playoffs. They're never at home in the playoffs. And if they don't get to at least the championship game and they lose to the Buccaneers, they're going to be thinking about that the entire offseason. That's what I mean by house money. It's just about living up to your expectations and are you going to be able to live with it? And I think the Buccaneers would be able to eventually live with a loss. Disappointed, but I don't think they'd be killing themselves because they're not the better team. They're on the road.
But you don't think if they lose, they're going to be thinking about it the whole winter?
They will. They will. But, Don, I'm so with you. Athletes sometimes, they're too close to it to understand it. Because in their eyes, they're thinking about themselves. And they're like, what? I would never, ever do that. It's not conscious. You know, I don't think that Joe Flacco and company thought last week, I mean, come on, guys, we've already achieved way more than we should have. Let's pack it in. Let's pack it in and go get blown out by Houston. But I do think there is a level of satisfaction that can happen. And by the way, Don, Detroit could worry. You could worry about the same thing with Detroit. The level of celebration that they had in Detroit just from them getting one playoff win was immense. And then you have to kind of build yourself back up again after coming down off such a high. So, but no, the players aren't going to see it that way. They're going to think we sound like idiots who are overanalyzing it. But every time you look at sports, whether it's a Mike Tyson overlooking Buster Douglas, like we've seen it over and over again. These mental things matter.
See, the final analysis, if the Bucs lose to the Lions, now, I need to see what it looks like, but they go out there, they play hard, but they lose. It's just not good enough. All right, you just weren't good enough. You were 9-8 during the season. You only made the playoffs because you're in the NFC South. You just weren't good enough. The Lions can't say that. They're a 6.5-point favorite at home. You know, so if they lose, they can't say, well, I guess we weren't good enough. It's going to be, you choked it away. Or I guess you're not ready to take that next step. It's not going to be, well, the Buccaneers are just a better football team, because they're not. So the loss kind of will fall on you. What did you do wrong here? Now, the Bills and the Chiefs can't do that. It's a 3-point spread. They're equals. If anything, the underdog in this one is looked upon as the team that's got the better history and the pedigree and all that. So that's a different story. But for these teams to go in as big underdogs, there's a reason why they're big underdogs.
Let's go to Roger in Schenectady. Roger.
How you doing, guys?
Good. What's up?
Love your show. Happy New Year.
All right. Same to you.
I got a funny story about Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
I was about 12 or 13 years old, and I used to get a subscription for it for my birthday. Well, the swimsuit issue came. Mm-hmm. Now, my great aunt lived downstairs, and she would bring the mail up to my grandmother.
Yeah.
And I had to sit at the kitchen table and watch them slice all the photos out of my sports.
Oh, man.
It desecrated me because I like to read it. It's not like Playboy.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know?
How old were you then, Roger?
Well, it's sort of like
How old were you, Roger?
13. 12 or... Now?
No, that
I'm going to be...
when they were slicing.
Oh, 12 or 13.
Oh, they should have let you look. But they raised you the right way. I understand.
Look, Michael.
Yes.
But, Michael, again, for a birthday thing, yours is the 2nd? February?
Yeah, February 2nd.
Correct? Mine's the 6th. I was born in 63, so we kind of grew up in the same...
Absolutely. Well, an early happy birthday.
I am proud to be called Yankee Boy.
There you go. Thank you, Roger. Thanks for the phone call. It's amazing. That swimsuit issue was such a controversial thing because, I mean, it was... I mean, Cheryl Teagues had a see-through swimsuit on. For some reason, I remember that like it was yesterday because I didn't get Playboy. So that was, and there was no internet or anything like that. So, I mean, that was as salacious as it got for some youngsters and for some adults.
They tried to keep it on the up and up. They give you the price of the swimsuit. They really tried to sell.
They tried.
We're trying. This is on the up and up. Listen, they got away with it.
You know who enjoyed a good swimsuit issue? Spike in St. Pete.
I guarantee it.
I think he still does, right, Spike?
Well, I enjoy anything that I can pull air in and pull it out, my friends. I'm so sad.
I hear you.
I'm so sad over Sport Illustrated, but the precursor to that was Dick Schaap had a magazine called Sport Magazine.
Yeah.
I believe Dick Schaap might have been in Canada. He was my guy, Dick Schaap. Brilliant columnist and all that. You know, everything's different today. I feel bad for Lundberg, too, but what I heard from him, he's going to be okay, but who knows? A very creative young man and basketball-centric, so fit me perfectly. And it's just sad. It's like another piece. They could take your body, they could take your mind, but now everything's lost. And, Peter, you made a comment before I found pretty interesting. People don't read anymore. I mean, when Michael's book came out, I'm not kissing anyone's rear end. I watch Center Stage all the time. But I forgot. You forget. And I picked the book up and I read every article and I remembered other things. And again, it's just a book. Don's an avid reader. Where he reads it leaves a lot to be desired. But all kidding aside,
I'm reading the Barbara Streisand book. It's fabulous.
I will, as long as your thighs don't cramp up. I just lost a piece of my life here with SI going down. I know it's not the same, but I thought about this, and I'll leave you with this, and we'll get to the Knicks down the road. I got to tell you something, guys. There's something about when you lose something, as Joe Pesci would say, from your youth. It's just, it's gone. It's just totally gone. And I know it wasn't what it was, but it was still there. And it hurts. So let's just hope everything remains the same, that we still have. The kids have to start reading, man. Make them read in school.
Yeah.
Do they make them read books?
I mean, they do, but it's funny. It's not what it was. I mean, I see the reading assignments my kids have, and they're 9 and 11. I mean, when I was 9 years old, I was reading Lord of the Flies and Wuthering Heights. I mean, they're reading, those comic book books. So it's a complete, and they don't even teach you cursive. But I don't want to sound like the old man. But I understand what Spike said. It feels like a part of you is gone.
10-year-olds now don't read real books?
Well, I mean, they're available, but it seems like what graphic novels they like. It's got like cartoons in it. It's that sort of thing.
You mean you were reading Lord of the Flies for fun when you were 10?
No, I was assigned it at school. You don't read Lord of the Flies for fun because I fashioned myself as a bit of piggy. I didn't like the way it turned out.
Not to mention, we know that you're strictly a nonfiction guy.
Yeah, I don't read fiction unless it's assigned to me. So the only fiction books I really have read is because they were assigned in school. And I know I'm an idiot. People say that you can learn a lot from fiction. I just don't like fiction. I'm like Don. I like to learn something. But you can learn a lot from fiction.
You don't, but real quick, you don't like fiction or like foods you don't like, you just don't feel like trying?
No, I have read fiction books. I've read novels. I don't like them as much as like biographies or histories, stuff like that.
I get it. I mean, listen, I want to give you guys a hard time about it because you're both so staunch on the subject. But at the same time, I'm looking over here and every book that I have is basically a biography. So who am I to judge?
Yeah, who are you to judge?
Who am I? I can barely finish a book. Don's probably already halfway through the Streisand book.
The Streisand book's 1,000 pages, Don. Yeah. How are we looking?
How far are you, Don?
74 pages.
So we up to Funny Girl yet?
No. We're still her doing some off-Broadway, singing in St. Louis. No, she's giving us every angle. I mean, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before we start.
Doesn't sound like you're enjoying it.
No, I am. It's just it's long. I don't see where I'm going to end this, and then I got to go to Ottawa next weekend. I don't want to travel with this thing.
See, that's why you should have downloaded it on an iPad.
Never, ever. I'll never do it. Ever.
You can't pack a book like that on a plane. It's too heavy.
Well, then you know what? Then I'll go without. But I'm not ever going to read off a Kindle. Never. Won't do it.
Can you believe this, Peter?
I want to feel the book. I want to have the book in my hand. Follow the progress. I don't know.
I read newspapers online. That's no different than holding it in my hand.
Michael, can I believe it? Yes, I can.
Yeah, he does. He dies on strange hills. Listeners,
it's my hill.
It is your hill. It's a strange hill. Listeners, it's Michael K. When it comes to travel,
I needed something in the shop, comfortable.
I wear Brunt boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, triple layered comfort.
Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel kind of like sneakers.
They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing.
This is the only shoe I wear in here now. Brown boots are cool.
Wearing Brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy, too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
So, you need a suit, a tux even? Maybe you got invited to a fancy party, or you're someone's plus one, and the last time you resorted to a warehouse, you didn't like the way you looked. This time, get a better suit from the Black Tux, and we'll deliver it with time to spare. Try it on. If the fit isn't right, we'll replace it right away, for free. And on the big day, you'll look as great as you feel. With the Black Tux, it's easy to look your best for every occasion. TheBlackTux.com. Formal wear for the moment.
My favorite babysitter is Annalisa. She's pretty good. She's like my grandma. She says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" She plays with me. She helps you feel better. Bugs and insects are healthy for you. Amelia took us to the beach. She teaches me some gymnastics. We like color. We draw flowers, and then we go skateboarding.
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers, find all the care you need at care.com.
Custom Ink helps us celebrate and drive our students' achievements with custom gear. They love Custom Ink's different styles and designs. We love how Custom Ink makes the process simple with their easy-to-use design lab, expert artists ready to help, and unbeatable customer service. Custom Ink allows our kids to show everyone their accomplishments and the pride they have in our school. When we place an order, I know they got our back, so we can focus on the kids.
Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Guys with bad jeans, are they worth it?
Jeans go with everything.
They go with nothing. Dudes, get the new Only Pant by Fabletics.
Awesome.
Want one pair of pants that does everything like magic? Breathable cooling tech. Always stretch. Secure phone pocket.
Bro, I'm in an Only Pant ad.
Water repellent. Work, golf, date night, hiking, biking. It's so everything.
See this stretch?
You forget about the deal you're getting.
It's our biggest sale of the year. Get the Only Pant for $19 at Fabletics.com.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
To find out benefits and pay and how fast you can get started.
Whoa! DraftKings. Look at all these blackjack games. You got Spanish 21, Vacation Blackjack, Touchdown Blackjack. What is this? Some big old Vegas buffet where you're putting the waffles next to the crab legs, deciding what dessert you want for breakfast? Well, guess what? Smack me in the mouth with all of it. I want it all.
New players, get started with the deposit match up to $100 in casino credits when you deposit just $5. The crown is yours.
Somebody bring me the cream puffs.
At the Community Food Bank of New Jersey.
We are working.
Now more than ever.
To fill the emptiness caused by hunger.
We are the state's largest anti-hunger organization.
And together with our 800+ community partners,
we are committed to delivering food,
help, and hope
to our hundreds and thousands of neighbors in need.
Join us today. The Library of Congress invites you to visit the revamped Veterans History Project website, where firsthand accounts shared by U.S. military veterans are accessible to the public. Performing a search of the collection is easy. First, go to loc.gov/vets. Click Explore the Collections. Scroll down to Search the VHP Collections and click. Make sure you're searching this collection, and with simple keywords, you can find what you're looking for. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
When we talk about leaving a legacy behind, we mean making lasting change in the futures of all New Yorkers, in the fabric of the places we love, through the values we hold dear. The New York Community Trust makes it possible to champion the causes that you care about, with powerful ways for everyone to give. Visit thetrust.nyc.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
When choosing between style, comfort, and performance, we chose all of the above. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Ding, 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 ding. My least favorite song coming in from break. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it is. Yeah,
by Jack
Yeah, I
Harlow.
don't like it.
I don't have an opinion on it. If it went away, I wouldn't care.
What if you? Do you think you might like it better if you heard the vocal version?
Maybe that's a good point, Peter. That's why you're on point.
Yeah, maybe we should give him next time a taste of what's popping. It's a pretty good song.
Jack Harlow seems like he has it going on, but I don't like the ding ding. It sounds like an 11-year-old playing a little fake piano.
You know what? It's funny too because it's a big party record. It was incredibly popular. It wasn't like a little kid record, but I hear why.
I'm a huge party guy.
Yeah. Oh, you love to party.
Yeah, for years. Let's go to Matt.
You're one of the biggest party guys in the business.
Matt in Mount Vernon. Maddie.
Hey, Michael, I got a would you for you.
Okay.
All right. Would you rather eat an egg at every meal for a month, because I know you love eggs, or would you rather watch every game of the World Cup?
Every game of the World Cup.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a great sporting event. I mean, I get more interested toward the end, but I could get through every game of the World Cup. I mean, I've experienced the utter non-joy of eggs, so.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No.
I had
really
an
didn't,
egg
though.
white omelet. I wasn't impressed. I've got a would you for you two guys.
Love it.
What's the person you love the most in life? Both of you. That's the question. And before I could give you a would you.
Well, it's got to be my wife,
Your
right?
wife, Don. How about you, Peter?
Yeah, I would assume the same.
Okay.
Sure.
In order to save both of their lives, you two have to have relations with each other for one night. Would you do it?
And you know what? Peter would have completely enjoy it. He'd grow hair. That
Peter,
boy
you
would
have an
walk away
answer.
satisfied. I would destroy Peter because it's my wife.
What the F?
Peter, I haven't heard an answer from you.
I'm sorry. Yes, the answer is obviously yes. I don't know if I'm going to do it with the same enthusiasm as Don.
Yeah, Don does seem very enthusiastic.
Well, here's the thing.
Because it's his wife on. It's Nancy's wife on the line.
And anything worth doing is worth doing well.
I mean, Don would turn into Jenna Jameson if he had to. You know what I mean?
Let's go to Zoe in Detroit. Zoe.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Great, Zoe. How about you?
Good. You guys ever got a caller from Detroit before?
I think we have, but this is special to us, especially, with us coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm from New York. I've been here for about 2.5 months.
And how's the
When I tell
vibe
you
there?
the vibe out here for the Detroit... that's exactly what I want to talk about. It is insane. I've never felt anything like this in New York, and it's like Christmas out here.
Really?
I envy cities like
It's
Detroit.
like billboards everywhere. It's just people are in a good mood. Like, go Lions. Every time they say bye to you, they're like, go Lions.
Yeah, honestly, I would love to see that happen in New York. It'll never happen, but I envy cities like that. I told you, Michael, I was a Ranger Blues game in St. Louis when the Cardinals were in the postseason, and they had red water in the fountain downtown, and everybody working at the hotel had Cardinal jerseys. Like, I love that vibe, but we'll never have it because we have multiple teams, and we're never going to get the entire city to get involved in one team like that.
Our city is so big and so varied. And I've always said, who's the most popular athlete, most recognizable athlete in New York right now? It's probably Judge, right?
Right.
Because of his size and everything. If he walked through Lincoln Center, there's a lot of people that wouldn't even know who he was.
Right. It's too cosmopolitan a town. But imagine if all we had for 100 years were the Rangers, Yankees, Giants, and Knicks, and that's it. You would think even people that weren't into sports, if one of those teams were going for a championship just for the civic pride, they'd get involved in it. But you can't, because Giants going for the Super Bowl. There's still a lot of Jet fans that are going to be rooting against the Giants. Same with the Yankees and the Mets. And so it just, you're not going to have that, because you just have too much else going on and too many other teams going on. But if you had just those four, Michael, and that's the way it always was, you might get the people that aren't sports fans to rally around the team making a run just for civic pride.
Let's go to Hugh in Franklin Square. Hugh.
Hello. Good evening, gentlemen.
How are you?
Good, thanks. Just wanted to share a story with you. And for the most part, you guys, big fan of you. Listen to you guys when I get off the Long Island Railroad at 5:30, and I'm listening to you guys nonstop. And you guys are an institution to sports radio, just as much as Sports Illustrated is to world sports. That's how much you guys are so respected. So love you guys to the death.
Thank you. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but I'm glad you do.
That's cool.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm 55 years old, born in 68, much like Don. Don, I see you, brother. And when I was growing up in the 70s, I was an avid football fan. I played Pop Warner football in the 70s. So, you know, when I took my Sports Illustrated subscriptions, I would paste them on the wall. The Lynn Swan catch, it would be on the wall. I'd have cutouts of albums of all the great sports figures, and I'd have a collection in basketball and in football and baseball. And, you know, it's disheartening that Sports Illustrated has now come to this point in time in history for us, because we know that Sports Illustrated is an institution. We grew up as kids. I have dozens of collections of Sports Illustrated publications. I have the Jordan collection. I have the Tiger Woods collection.
You know what it comes down to, Hugh?
All of his championships.
Is that it was and we thank you for the phone. It was a part of our childhood. And listen, so much more information available now, but you'd be hard pressed to convince me. I don't know if Peter and Don would try, that we didn't have it better then, that it wasn't better when it was a little more simple and more innocent. You know, you cutting out, you know, the front pages of the covers of Sports Illustrated and pinning it on his wall. That doesn't happen anymore. It just doesn't. We're so much. Again, we might be so much smarter, but are we better for it? I don't know. I don't think we are.
Yeah, because I guess it's a whole generation of people that don't care. But like, what are you going to leave? Like my dad left me those yearbooks, those Met yearbooks. Like that's cool. Like that just feels like a blast from the past. I knew somebody. He owned a bar in Haledon, New Jersey. That his thing. He always tried to get an autograph of whoever was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and it had hundreds. Like, it was awesome. Imagine leaving that for your kids.
Now they leave NFTs to kids. I mean,
I guess that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, but what am I going to leave my kids of my fandom? You know, if everything is digital and downloaded, if you don't have the book, if you don't have the magazine, if you don't have the picture, like what is left?
It's we were better off when we were kids. We were better off that when we got home from school, we could ride our bike and come home when it got dark and didn't have tablets and stuff like that. I think we were better off. I really do. I see parents now, because, you know, Don's experienced it. When you talk with other parents, they fight the tablet. You can't get kids off tablets.
Well, you know, they're home from school today because of the weather. You know, and he's had his face buried in the tablet like all day.
He's not running around in the snow. He's just not.
Right. Now, listen, the same, our parents probably said the same thing about TV. Don doesn't want to go out. His face is in the TV. So I think it's always different. But I like, to be honest, my daughter's not as into the tablet, so she's being creative and she's playing with dolls and making things up. I think that's better for the creative mind than watching somebody else be creative.
But Don, it's like there's levels. Like ideally, you think you want people to be social and active, right? Doing things with other people. Then, if you're not going to be active, at least I'd say you could at least be social, right?
Right.
And so I will say, for me, that's why I put TV above the phone. Because at least TV in a house can lead to real social family time. God, it is so depressing to watch a family of 4 and everyone sitting on their own phone. I mean, and I'm so bad. I'm part of it too, and I pray to God that I get better at it as Natalie and I are, God willing, blessed to have children. But man, when you see, I was sitting at brunch recently, and Natalie and I were talking. I looked over at this dad who brought his nice family to this brunch, and he's sitting there by himself, looking up. Everyone in his family is just sitting on their phone, individually, not talking.
The daily battle, Peter, with an 11-year-old daughter. I want a phone. No. All my friends have phones. Well, their parents are dumb. Because, you know, it's an easy way out. You give them the phone, they shut up. I get it. And when we're at a restaurant, we let them use the tablet rather than, like, screaming about they don't like this, they don't like that. But an 11-year-old feeling that she needs an iPhone because her friends have it. The one thing that I've learned being a parent at a late age is that you're only as good of a parent as the parents of your daughter's or son's friends. And the siblings of your daughters and sons' friends. So if they curse, their kids are going to, and then your kids are going to hear cursing. If they're on phones and their parents got them phones and you're almost required to get them, it's hellish. It's a hellscape, I'm telling you. A hellscape. So enjoy, Peter.
I'm really hoping. Listen, some are better than others. You know, I got to tell you, my niece and nephew are not perfect, but they're not phone obsessed. They somehow got them through that period. They're on their phones. They're on social media. They definitely do their share of texting, but they are not. They were just staying with us. And when we did nothing, they did sit down and get on their phones, but I did not have to, like, fight with them to pay attention.
I like to look. Maybe this is going to be the point, God, but in this segment, Peter, this phrase was actually uttered. I would destroy Peter. That we heard that in this segment.
I would destroy Peter.
There you go. It's the ESPN New York.
Because it's my wife.
Super Bowl.
I don't even like it. I'm uncomfortable.
Because you're envisioning it.
Well, and if he had said it, let me say this. If he had said that off the air, and so it wasn't for entertainment's sake, right. I'm going to HR.
It broke bracketology.
I don't know who HR is at our job. Because
I'm just answering a question. You could say the question was inappropriate. I answered the question. I love my wife. I'll do anything for my wife. We always say that. I'll do anything. Well, I just told you I'd do anything. And I do it well. HR is located, Peter, in the box that's outside our studio that's been there since we went to the new studios. And it has not been moved. And it's got metal garbage in it. It's in the bottom of that box.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. It's the ESPN New York Super Box Bonanza 5. This year, each qualifier will take home a $25 Fanatics gift card and have a chance at one of 10 Super Box prizes. Be caller number, we mentioned Judge, be caller number 99 right now at 888-987-ESPN to select a box for the big game with a chance to win $500 in the first and third quarters, $1,000 at halftime, and a final score payout of $2,000. All brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey and the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey and Security Dodge. Come get some. When we come back, the picks. Stay tuned. DraftKings Sportsbook.
Everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
I have to find a babysitter.
I have a lot of questions.
When can they start?
Today? Now? Tomorrow?
How about Saturday and Sunday? I need any kind of day.
My wife and I haven't been out in a year.
We need a date night. No offense.
Help!
Can I check reviews?
Are they background checked?
Do I have to go pick them up?
Can they handle all this?
From babysitters to nannies to daycare centers. Find all the care you need at care.com.
I won the lottery with Jack Pocket.
Press the button to order your lottery tickets. It's that easy.
You know, that really happened. I was in the bathtub and I was like, oh my God, I got to put my numbers in. And I grabbed my phone and
my phone started exploding with texts and emails from Jack Pocket telling me I won big. I still can't believe I'm a lottery winner.
How did I celebrate? I kind of did a little happy dance out to the living room.
Go to jackpocket.com to get the app and get your first ticket free.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
We just signed the lease on our third shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to customink.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our custom ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at customink.com.
Guys, let's be honest. Buying pants sucks. It should not be this difficult. I'm looking for that one pair of pants that does everything. These just came in. They're the only pant from Fabletics Men. 4-way stretch, done. All-way stretch, you're going to feel the difference. The best thing about the only pant, honestly, everything. You almost forget about the deal that you're getting. Same premium quality as Lululemon, but at a third of the price.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Emergency pizza. A free pizza? Here you go.
Thank you.
When you need it most.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Self-inflicted gunshot, 14-year-old male.
Just tell me. Discovering solutions. Inspiring. Connecting cultures. Leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready?
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
If you get a phone call, do not talk to the person.
Never, ever give out your Medicare number. Just hang up.
I check my Medicare statements monthly.
To report Medicare fraud, contact the Senior Medicare Patrol in your state.
Get ready for the British Basketball League. 10 teams, one electrifying league. Global talent, local passion. The British Basketball League.
When we talk about leaving a legacy behind, we mean making lasting change in the futures of all New Yorkers, in the fabric of the places we love, through the values we hold dear. The New York Community Trust makes it possible to champion the causes that you care about with powerful ways for everyone to give. Visit thetrust.nyc.
It's All-Star season in Brooklyn, and we got all the stars. And the stars are out. We got LeBron, Harden, and KD. Kevin Durant is smoking hot. We got Embiid, Steph, and Tatum. Jason Tatum is going off. Yes, we got an all-star lineup. Nets versus Lakers, tonight at 10 on Yes and the Yes app.
Show. Pick'em Pro Picks.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Oh, boy.
This is it. I think this is it. This is what stands between me and a Pusick. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it. Every one of us got a three-pointer wrong. Every one of us got the one-pointer wrong. Every one of us got the two-pointer right. So the order of picking is the most points that week, since we all have the same amount. Then the tiebreaker goes to who's ahead in the standings. And that's the beautiful bald man, Peter Rosenberg. So he'll go first.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Well, guys, I go back and forth here on this slate. There's things I you know what I'm going to do, Don? I'm going to do what I always do.
Wing it.
And just go with my, basically. How's it working out for me? And just go with my gut. Go with the teams that I feel, even though one part really irks me, and that is that if you look at the entire season, I picked a dog, I think, every week. I don't love a dog this week.
Well, you love Bear.
I love Bear and Rocky. So I am going to make do the best I can. I'm going to go in the order of what I like. I'm scared of all of them, but hey, I considered the Bucks. Love the story. You could absolutely see them just like surprising you and going to Detroit and doing something special. I could picture it. I could. I also think about reality, which is Don and I got fat this year betting the Lions at home. That's what they do. And this is a team that beat the Bucks in Tampa a few weeks ago by 14. So I'm going to lay the 6.5 in Detroit.
Why not?
Give me Eminem, Big Sean, Royce the 5'9", Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders. Give me all of them.
And the 88-year-old season ticket holder.
That guy, too. I'll take the Lions. I'll take the Lions as my 1 point play.
One point play.
My 2 point play. This is a team I miss out on a lot, and it's a team that has had their shortcomings in the playoffs in recent years. But this year just feels special. It feels like Lamar Jackson has something to prove. He's going to be your MVP, and he's going to come out. He's not going to play with his food, as it was so astutely said earlier in the program by Joe Fortenbaugh. The Ravens will win by 10. It's not a huge number. I love the Texans story. I love C.J. Stroud. They're running into a team on the road that's just too good. Ravens cover the 9.5. Give it to me. And I've said it over and over again. This one's a little bit with my heart, and I just feel like at some point this thing has to end. This Chiefs team does not have a ton offensively. And yes, the Bills are depleted defensively, but Patrick Mahomes on the road. We don't know what this looks like in the playoffs. We do know Travis Kelce's been looking a little bit old. And I love where the Bills are at this exact moment. So I'm going to ride the moment and say that this is the time where the Bills exercise the demons of years past. Give me the Bills as my 3-point play. Buffalo given 2.5.
Really, really kind of meandering average picks. All right, Don, you're next.
All right. I like Peter's picks. They're not bad.
Yeah, and by the way, think about the nerve to even utter those words. I'm up 12 points on him right now. It's unbelievable.
They're in his head.
But go ahead.
You're firmly in his head. Listen, the Lions have been good to me, but not that good to me. Ooh. And I gave that stat about Goff turning the ball over when he faces a blitz. Bucks don't have anything to lose, and I don't think the Lions are on that level where anything is a guarantee. I think they win the game, but it's going to be much like what happened last week where they won and didn't cover. Bucks got a little something going on here, and I think that they will keep it close. As my 1 point play, I'll have the Bucks covering the 6.5.
Wow. Surprising.
It's not only surprising. Can I go as far as saying it's spitting in the face?
Now, the other team that
he would destroy Peter. Please.
That I've rode this year are the Niners. And I don't completely buy into the fact that the Packers are just on this roll and they're going to be the Giants from 2007. I still think this Niners team is the best team in football, and they're well rested, and I think they will take care of business at home. I'm getting it under 10. I can see them winning by 14, definitely covering the 10. So I like the Niners as my 2 point play to end the Packers' miracle run. Niners are going to the championship game, and they'll cover the 9.5, my 2 point play.
Strong.
And this is the one I've really felt with the most conviction all week, and that's the Ravens covering the 9.5 against the Texans. Baltimore has the most sacks in the NFL with 60. The Texans, I know they went up against a good Cleveland defense, but that didn't travel well. I just think the Texans, it's a nice story. They've never won a divisional series. These two teams met back in week 1 with Baltimore winning 25-9. I just think the Ravens are the second best team in football. So the same logic with the Niners I'm going to apply to the Ravens. They'll cover the 9.5 at home and end the Texans season as my 3-point play.
Wow.
One of the what?
Wow. It's a bold day for Donald Bucks LaGreca.
So
a bold day.
I will tell you this. This is moving weekend for the K-Star.
Oh, boy.
It either happens this weekend or it doesn't happen. I have to grow that hideous Pusick. I don't want to do that. 1 point.
No one wants to be a hideous, disgusting, filthy Anthony Pusick.
The 1-point play for me, I pick up 1 point right away because I'm in lockstep with Peter. Give me the Lions. Please stop.
Attaboy.
Stop with the Tampa Bay nonsense. They beat a completely obliterated Philadelphia team. I don't put anything. They don't score a lot. I mean, they have a good defense. I know they're going to blitz a lot. I think that the Lions are poised to blow them out. It's not even going to be close.
You know what I'm going to do? Do you know what this calls for? A flex bomb.
Well, it's a 1-point play. Let's not get kooky.
My 2-point play.
Fair enough.
My 2-point play is going to be this. It's going to be the 49ers. So I'm not going to pick up any ground because I believe that they are the best team in football. Now, I'm a little worried because it's going to be raining and it's going to be high winds at Levi Stadium. That has slowed down Purdy in the past. He didn't have a good game in Cleveland under those sorts of conditions. So he might not be able to throw the ball that much, but they have Christian McCaffrey. And a lot of their passing game is short slants where Ayuk just takes off. So I think San Francisco's going to handle them very, very nicely. Green Bay went in and beat a choking Cowboy team. So I'm not going to put much emphasis on that. My 3-point play, here's the deal, everybody. This is where it becomes moving day. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Ooh. Give me the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Okay? The cold weather, you saw what they played in last week. What does that mean to them? Nothing. It means nothing to them. That is going to be snowy and blustery in Buffalo. And really, take a look at some of the Buffalo games. Have they really impressed all that much? There's some injuries there as well. Give me Kansas City. You know what? Prove me wrong. Prove Patrick Mahomes wrong. And you know what else is going to happen? Kelsey's going to have a huge game for Taylor and for all of his fans and for his brother that retired. It's going to be unbelievable. Kelsey, or they changed the last name to Kels, he's going to have at least 8 catches, 140 yards. If you have fantasy, bet Kelsey. Bet the house on Kelsey.
Wow. I don't hate the pick, but 3 points, Peter?
3 points. 3 points.
Listen, is there a world in which we just go, oh, my God, the Chiefs are back in the championship game. They did it on a year in which everyone's been doubting them offensively. They're not – could I see it happening? And we hear after the game, we hear, Kermit, it could all happen. Swag surf galore. Could I see it? But the commitment that he had to it, Don, it's like he just said the Bills haven't been impressive. Did he forget about the Chiefs' entire season?
Well, you know what? But what they do in the game, they had a win last week. They just obliterated the Dolphins. They filleted them.
Miami,
they had Dolphin
fillet. They didn't show up. The Dolphins never left Miami, I think. They weren't built for that game. Listen, I respect it. I love
he's
the
out
way
there, man.
you performed.
Listen,
again,
it's moving weekend, Don. If I don't dare to be great this weekend, when can I dare to be great? I might as well go down fighting. I'm not going to stand there in the corner and rope-a-dope you.
No, listen, you're fighting. But no, again, another week without the Texans, so.
Yeah, hey, Griffin, I don't have any guts, okay? Let's see if you have any guts and pick the Texans. No, I don't.
Well,
the number's too high. I don't like the number.
Again, I stayed away because of the Bills' injuries, so good on you. I'm surprised at your 3-point play, but there's plenty of guts there. Good for you.
All right, now, let's talk about incarcerated Bob.
Yes.
Bob!
Incarcerated. There he is. He loves the Bucks plus 6.5. He loves the Niners minus 9.5. And he likes the 49ers Packers at over 50.
And how about Bear the dog?
Bear is gonna ride with one of the remaining animals left. So for him, it's between the Ravens, the Lions, and the Bills. And Bear's gonna jump on board with me and bet the Bills.
Okay,
thanks, Bear.
How about the manager of the New York Yankees?
The manager of the New York Yankees is going right up against you, Michael. He likes the Bills.
That pick.
And I got a Josh Allen gif is my text.
Really?
Yes.
That's all he
Peter,
needed.
how about
That's right.
45? He's been in the news today. Does he have a pick?
You know, Michael, I've got a lot on my mind. I got a lot on my mind with Nimrata. Dealing a lot with Nimrata and small, puny Ron. But I still got time for the K-Show. Love the K-Show. Always have. Except for when I used to call the Fan. Love them better then. But I love this show now. I listen all the time. And I'm going to go with the Bucks because I love Tampa. I love Florida. And Florida loves me much more than tiny Ron DeSantis. I'm going to go with the Bucks. A big win for the Bucks. Todd Bowles. We love Todd. Tall Todd. Tepid Todd. That's what we call him. We call him Todd. Tepid Todd Bowles. I'm going with the Bucks. The brave Bucks.
Don, remember, we actually had 45 call into the show. Not when he was president, but he actually fired Joey on the air.
Yes.
I wish we could find that clip.
God, you gotta find that
Joey
clip.
probably has it. Joey has everything.
Joey has to have that. Although I'm not going to say anything about Joey's beliefs, but there's a chance he's burned that.
No, I don't think. No, Joey's a weasel. He holds on to things. All right, ENN's coming up in just a moment. Right now, Don wants to talk about Mazda.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy, too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. So you can always be prepared and enjoy the important things. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
Listen, we get that ordering a suit online can seem a little risky. That's why we have a home try-on program. Go to thebblacktux.com/try. With so many good options, it might be hard to choose. We'll ship your selection to you to try out for 48 hours on us. When it arrives, put it on and make sure every detail's perfect. Once your 2 days are up, pack it back in the box, attach the free shipping label, and send it back to us. And when you're ready to rent for real, just head back to the Black Tux and make your order official.
At care.com, you can find all the help you need. You can find babysitters, and you can find nannies. You can find dog walkers who'll step in as your best friend's new best friend, and housekeepers who can get your floors looking great, at least for a little bit. You can find companions and helpers and caregivers, but most importantly, you can find out what it's like to not have to do it all on your own. Find all the care you need at care.com.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
It started when he ordered his Brunt work boots. He's going on about how they're comfortable as sneakers, but he never takes them off. With his buddies at night, I caught him in the shower, and he just goes, "What? They're waterproof."
Brunt, the tools you wear.
So a 2-2 tie. There's a high fly ball deep to right. Crazy, just crazy.
Bayer Aspirin, official sponsor of fans' hearts.
Cancer all over. It's the future.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Yes.
We're all trying to put together the pieces.
And the wheels are turning.
This is a move you have to make. It's going to be a chess match. Yankees hot stove is back. A lot to talk about.
He's that important. He's that impactful.
Plus, you never know what guests will join us.
It's All-Star season in Brooklyn, and we got all the stars. And the stars are out. We got LeBron, Harden, and KD.
Kevin Durant is smoking hot.
We got Embiid, Steph, and Tatum.
Jason Tatum is going off.
Yes, we got an all-star lineup. Nets versus Lakers. Tonight at 10 on Yes and the Yes app.
Sometimes Rocky is just so picky. I can't get him to eat this food.
On TV.
Ray Rowe.
What? Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to ENN. Go ahead.
On TV.
Ray Rowe.
Thank you. ENN is brought to you by Security Dodge. Go see Michelle Scalisian.
Come get some.
Yeah.
Let's start off tonight's big ENN, if we can, and we shall, and we will, by saying good evening to my good friend, Michael K.
It was a normal sack.
Oh, I missed that one.
You didn't?
Oh,
you missed that?
Didn't miss it. We were talking about Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's right. I heard you say it, but I in the context that.
But you don't have the filthy mind of Anthony Pusick, and you didn't think anything of it. But they made it into something
No,
dirty.
it doesn't have a filthy mind. We'll get there, Michael.
Okay.
Let's say good evening to Don.
I think I speak for everybody when I say thank you for the phone call.
It's one of the best things you've ever said in the history of the show. I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you for the phone call. Oh, it's beautiful.
You know, it's coming up. Today's January 19th. We're just a couple of months away.
From what?
Oh, yeah, you blink. You blink.
More,
Drop Madness.
Drop Madness, yeah.
Rocky, will you eat this slop? I pick up the slop and I hand feed it to him to get him to taste it. And then...
This is what my parents went through.
Yeah, he is the Michael K. of dog. Except, no, he'll eat any human food, basically. I mean, any sort of meat, he's down for.
Was he digging into the brisket on Sunday?
He had a little bit. I couldn't give it to Bear because Bear had brisket last time we got it, and it was not what you want. Let's say good evening to Don.
I think both could be true. Peter? I'll catch up with another time.
Still don't know what you asked me there. Let's say good evening to Don.
I would destroy Peter because it's my wife. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't. You don't know what I'm talking about.
I think everybody knows what you're talking about. It's just a little odd. You're saving your wife's life. You don't have to enjoy the endeavor.
Oh, I enjoy saving my wife's life, and I'm just saying that.
But I didn't say that you had to put in a good performance with Peter to save her life. I just said you had to do something.
That I would. But the thing is that the drop, unfortunately, not everyone is going to know the context. They're going to think, oh, I'd beat up Peter, right? Oh, I would destroy Peter in a game of Monopoly.
You're talking sex.
We're talking about that if I had to be with Peter to save my wife's life, I'd destroy him.
It's so
he just
disgusting.
doubles down, Peter. He never backs off.
Yeah, I don't need to. I don't like. I'm the person here. Like it feels wrong.
I wouldn't
don't like
enjoy
being spoken about.
But I have a feeling Peter would.
You're unbelievable.
Let's say good evening to the caller.
No.
All right.
And let's say good evening to Ballard.
There you go.
Wow.
You can hear he was timid. He was overwhelmed by the moment.
No.
The ratings started to plummet. I mean, if you really want to point,
you know what? If you're looking for a correlation, Michael, it's on the table.
You think Ballard cost us in the ratings?
Oh yeah. Much more than a competition. Ballard's, people said, we don't need this.
Well, I will say it's as reasonable a claim. So I'm down. I'm down to believe that.
Top 10 answers on the board. Here's the question: what brought the ratings down? Ballard? Did you 4 people?
COVID. Let's see COVID.
No. 50.
Let's see political leanings.
Right.
Number one.
Perceived political leanings.
Vaccine.
January 6th.
Can you eat this slop? We're going to get back to the foosball in a second here.
Okay.
Let's move over to the basketball. Everyone grab your blanket. Grab your your pacifier, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm.
Get cozy.
Little night-night.
And let's hear from...
Oh, no.
Let's hear from Sleepy Tom Bobo. Coach Stibbs on the big win last night over the Wiz.
You know, we didn't play great, obviously, but we found a way to win, which is the most important thing. Our turnovers were costly. Just find a way to win the game.
He just turned 66. It was either yesterday or the day before.
Coach, what about the fourth quarter?
The way the game unfolded, we ended up scoring 40, but we gave up 37. So we want to be at our best in the fourth quarter, and I think that's important. And we have to understand the intensity is different in the fourth quarter than the first three. And so our decision-making, like we're trying to thread the needle like too much, and you just got to read the defense and make the right play. And when we do that, we get really good shots. But Isaiah rebounding, Julius, some big plays, big clutch shots.
Peter, stop.
Dante, OG was OG. He's something.
Peter, get up. Peter.
Wake up.
Peter, wake up.
He's out.
It worked. Sunday?
No.
What time's the game? Where's Natalie?
You can't be playing
Larry
that
Bird?
anymore. It has an adverse effect.
Yeah, people could be driving.
So show me, in terms of the ratings dropping, show me the Sleepy Tom Bobo song.
Bing! Eighth. There's not a time during the day that you turn to any channel on your cable system and Family Feud's not on.
It's unreal.
It's unreal. It's such a great show.
Who's your favorite host?
Harvey's really good, but Richard Dawson's my favorite host.
He was great.
That's my dream job. I've told you that, right, Peter? To do Sports Family Feud on ESPN.
You should do it.
Yeah, why not?
And it's not going to be a K-Rod, so let me do that.
Yeah, but I'll tell you why. You know what? I don't want to. Let me not speak out of school. Fine, I'll talk. If you're your own agent right now, you got to go get yourself a big-time Hollywood agent for you, and they need to show up there and say, "Let me tell you something. Michael Kay is the voice of the New York Yankees. He's beloved. He's meant to do this. ABC has the property. We want to do a sports thing, blah, blah, blah. It could be done."
I would bring back the Richard Dawson kissing, too.
No, well, you know what?
That might be a problem.
On second thought, this is not going to work. We are going to have to move on.
Don't bring that up in the meeting, Michael.
No, I wouldn't. I would just break it out on the first show.
You know what?
Samantha, let's
By the way,
see
guys,
your family, Samantha.
Wait, what?
Samantha would be the mom, and she would introduce all of her daughters. And
oh my God!
So you start this out.
Hey, Michael, it's me.
God, is that you?
Yeah, that's right. Like the book. Hey, God, is that you? It's me, Michael Kay. Yeah. Do me a favor. Please stop the whole kissing the family thing. It's playing really bad up here, and I already have my share of people that I have to try to convince that you're going to make it up here with the good guys. And so just if you can, don't the kissing the mother or the daughter. It's not what you want.
No, it's a terrible take, God. I wasn't making out with it, but just like what Richard Dawson did.
Well, be careful because three of the former hosts of Family Feud are with God right now, so they're probably giving him some intel.
Whoa. Hold on. I'll tell you. Name a host. I'll tell you if he's with me or not.
Ray Combs.
He's here.
Richard Dawson.
I'd rather not say.
Go on.
You'd rather not say.
I haven't seen him. He's with some other people. Let me say that. You name some other names. I'll tell you if they're in the same
Louis
place.
Anderson.
Louis Anderson's up here. Great guy. Yeah, really quality. I'm a big fan, by the way. Really good guy. Anyone else?
Yeah, why don't we do the rest of ENN, God?
Wow.
You mean I can do ENN?
No.
Because that would be like a dream come true. I gotta be honest with you. Pipe down, God. Okay, fine. I'll take the hint. Big mistake.
Louis Anderson, that's where you went, Don, huh?
I was just trying to think of all the...
Yeah, I can't even think of any other hosts.
I think there was 4.
Oh, got it. When did Louis Anderson host?
For a couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah, before he died.
Every day. That's unfortunate. All right, let's move on from the New York Knickerbockers, shall we?
And Family Feud.
And Family Feud, which we know Michael feels very excited about getting the opportunity to try one day. Ohio State hired Bill O'Brien as their offensive coordinator.
Sure did.
That'll help the offense. Somebody said that Bill O'Brien has coached 8 years with Bill Belichick, 8 years with Nick Saban, never won a national title or a Super Bowl. That's almost mathematically impossible, but Bill O'Brien's pulled it off.
You are a really bad and accurate guy.
He stinks.
That's a not nice thing to say.
Hey, by the way, guys, sorry, last thing. You mentioned Belichick and Saban. I've already found out early, not going to be with me. Just let you know.
Did you see the picture, Don, on social media? So they flew Belichick down on a private jet to Atlanta for the second interview. And somebody took a photo of him ordering at Chick-fil-A by himself. He's a man of the people.
Well, it's also
getting off a private jet right into Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A's great.
Oh, except on Sunday. You can't have it.
Heading south to Atlanta is the right direction for where he's eventually going to end up.
Oh, man.
Keep on going. What? You don't even know what I mean. I mean, hell.
Guys, it's time.
Thank God.
Let's get everybody ready. Let's get everybody ready for the big weekend of football with your NFL announcer lineup. Oh, yeah, by the way, while we're getting into it, let me let you guys know. Beyond the Big Game is now open at the Paley Museum in Midtown. All right, it's an amazing Super Bowl exhibit. The Vince Lombardi Trophy is there. All 57 rings from each championship team, helmets, jerseys, so much more from Super Bowl legends, and a spectator showcase of memorable Super Bowl commercials. The exhibit is open through March 3rd. For more info, visit paleycenter.org. Everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go on a journey. Let's take a trip to a beautiful town. Michael would take the train. I would drive right down 95 South and land in Baltimore.
Yeah.
The Ravines hosting the Houston Texans tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. on ABC/ESPN/Deportes/ESPN Plus. On the call, Joe Buck.
So we'll welcome you in the booth just to prove that we're still here.
Troy Aikman.
Yeah, feed him.
Lisa Salters and Laura Rutledge. Texans in Saturday playoff games, which, Don, you know they've gotten a lot of.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
That's Thursday at Jay's.
They are 5-3 straight up and against the spread. CJ Stroud versus teams above 500. Wait for it. 6-1 against the spread.
Wow.
Lamar Jackson is 15-23 against the spread as a home favorite. That is not a good stat that I bet on for tomorrow. Of 220 quarterbacks over the last 20 years, he is ranked 213 against the spread as a home favorite. Jackson's 1-3 against the spread in the playoffs. And look what I did, guys. What I do. Laid 2 points on Lamar Jackson's back.
Bang.
Let's hear from John Harbaugh about the Texans.
They're just 17 weeks better. You know, I think they do a good job. They've steadily improved every single week. I thought they were a very good football team week 1. I think if you go back and check your record, you'll find that. They haven't surprised me or they haven't surprised us. They've done pretty much what I thought they were going to do. They're a very good football team. They're very talented. They play very hard. They execute at a high level. You know, CJ is just doing a phenomenal job.
Now,
much too complimentary.
Let's hear from Mel Kiper, who has an interesting thought about just how much pressure is on Lamar Jackson.
This is Mel Kiper's dad, or is it Mel Kiper Jr.?
No, I'm sorry. You're right. This is Junior. I apologize.
I think it's Lamar, just because this is a perfect opportunity. I mentioned the 49ers. I think it would be really disappointing if the 49er team built for this year isn't in the Super Bowl. I think for Lamar, this team is built to win a Super Bowl or get to it and win it. Josh, the defense has been decimated by injuries. Had another one with Bernard last week, right? Josh is still carrying this team. They don't have their running game every week. Definitely more pressure on Lamar Jackson.
It's an interesting perspective from Kiper Jr. I still think there's a lot of pressure on Josh in spite of the team's, in spite of the excuses that he might have. That city is ready. Let's go to San Francisco tomorrow night at 8:15 on Fox. A classic matchup. The Packers at the 49ers. Our friend Kevin Burkhardt on the call.
Boston College.
Greg Olson.
Did I do a good job shaving? Perfect. Thanks. I didn't brush my hair. She told me it didn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Thanks.
Aaron Andrews.
All right, old man. I can joke with you about that.
And Tom Rinaldi. Last 20 years, the Packers have faced the 49ers 4 times in the playoffs. They are 0-3-1 against the spread. LaFleur is 19-12 against the spread in his career at night. Over the last 20 years, that 19-12 mark is 9th best of any head coach. I mean, guys, but are we not Tonka trucking right now?
That's
LaFleur at night? What the hell does that mean?
You gave the stat.
Yeah.
I know, because I like the stats, but this is just to prove the point. Some of these are yo-yo bumchuck stats.
Exactly.
All right, let's continue on and head to Sunday. Tampa Bay at Detroit. 3 p.m. on NBC and Peacock, which you all have now. Mike Tirico on the call.
They still seem to resonate.
There are 3 teams.
Chris Collinsworth.
I feel great.
And Melissa Stark. Baker Mayfield 3-0 against the spread in the playoffs. How about that? He's 27-21 against the spread as a dog. Has covered 4 in a row, including 7-1 against the spread in his last 8. Let's hear from Baker Mayfield on Gardner Johnson's comments about him.
I don't think he's really watched film because you mentioned Russell Gage. We love Russell, but Russell hasn't played a snap all year for us. He must be going off the preseason stuff that the media was talking about, but he didn't play our first game, so I'm excited to see him. I think he's a really good player. He has been for a while, and he's been an impactful guy on every team he's been on, so he's a good player, but he's got to do a little bit more film study.
You're never going to get it in the last game ever.
Lastly, we go to Buffalo, 6:30 on Sunday. The Chiefs and the Bills. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, and Jay Feely on the call. That is your announcer lineup, and it's all brought to you by Security Dodge. Shop 24/7 at securitydodge.com during their Starting Something New sales event.
We had a lot of fun this week. Enjoy the divisional games. We're looking forward to it. We'll break it down on Monday. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody. Daniel Craig, take us out.
That's a wrap on the show for today and this week. Don't forget, coming up at 10 o'clock tonight, our coverage of the Nets and Lakers gets underway with the pregame. For all of us here on the Michael Kay Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night, have a great weekend. Enjoy divisional round in the playoffs in the NFL. We'll see you Monday at 3 o'clock.